I don't want to waste no more time. Joining us right now is Desiree Cooper, the editor of Black Summers Growing Up in the Urban Outdoors, a powerful new collection from Wayne State University Press that reminds us Black Summer has never been just about cookouts, music, porches, parks, and water. It's about memory. It's about the fact that something as simple as having fun outside has been political when you are Black in America. Desiree is an attorney, an award-winning author, a former Pulitzer Prize nominated columnist for the Detroit Free Press, and a Detroiter at heart whose work has appeared everywhere from the New York Times to Oprah. You gotta say it like that. That's how my angel would say it. Oprah Daily. The collection centers Detroit, Black childhood, public space, and the radical truth that leisure, nature, and play are civil rights too. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a good damn welcome to Desiree Cooper. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. I don't even know what to do with myself. This should be a civil right to be right here.
Damn it. Yes, it should be a civil right to be here. I agree with you.
Yes,
because
sir.
You are in Oprah Daily. Listen, I have to let you know I could not put your book down. Okay. Phenomenal collection of different stories when it comes to Black leisure. And so, first of all, thank you for being here. Second of all, I just want to start by asking you a very simple question. When you decided to do this project, what made you say, we need a book about Black summers in Detroit, and why now?
Okay, that is great. And I've been listening to you talk, especially about how we look at our history and the mythology that goes around it, and then how it is utilized. So it's kind of interesting how some of the most important history is forgotten, is erased, and we don't understand the connections. Now in Detroit, there's an iconic, or was an iconic summer experience. That's getting on a ferry boat on a dock in Detroit, going across the Detroit River to an island amusement. So you're going to Fantasy Island from Detroit, right? You're going into another country, enjoying the entire day. Got the moonlight cruises. You can sail back in the middle of the night. Lovely. And it was accessible to everyone. And everyone who was anybody in Detroit went on this cruise, the Bob Lowe boat, to Bob Lowe Island to have a ball. And nobody ever thought about this mug was segregated, and important people were thrown off of that boat many a time. They could float sometime, but it had to be on a Monday when the white people were back at work and then nobody wanted to float on a boat, okay? You couldn't go on a weekend. So in 1948, a Black woman who had migrated to Detroit from Tennessee during the Great Migration won a United States Supreme Court decision to integrate that Bob Lowe boat. And we don't know her story. And this is before Rosa Parks, 1948, okay? And it unlocked a core, unifying, legendary historical experience for all Detroiters to be able to get on the boat and share this unifying experience. So we were on there, you know, Stevie Wonder, My Eyes Don't Cry, and line dancing, and not even understanding, right, how someone had to unlock that experience. The mayor, Detroit had a historic, iconic mayor, Coleman Young, who didn't take nothing from nobody. Right. Coleman Young was thrown off of that Bob Lowe boat when he was a Boy Scout, trying to get on the boat just to sail with his troop. So that's the experience. As I'm a researcher, a journalist, I wrote for the Detroit Free Press, and I wrote about this woman, Sarah Elizabeth Ray, and I've been obsessed with her story and have worked with her story in the years since. She has passed. However, one day I thought, what would Sarah Ray think if she was sitting on the edge of that dock right now about Detroit, about what she opened up for the Black experience, the outdoor experience in the city? And would she be disappointed because maybe it's not as open as it needs to be? or maybe we haven't gone as far, or maybe, as you said earlier, we've gone backwards, right? So I asked Detroiters about that, to write about seminal experiences that they had in the summertime. And I don't want to hear the lights were off at a certain time. I don't want to hear everybody on the block loved you. Okay, we know that part. What we don't really know is how your core experiences in the summertime, in the outdoors, was shaped by race in a northern city. I use Detroit because I know that best. I use these writers because I know some of what they had to offer, but it is an experience that has been repeated all across America.
Love that. Love that. All right. So with that, right? How come when you talk about this being a civil right, like leisure for Black folks being a civil right, why is Black joy still treated like something we have to defend, explain, or fight for, in your opinion?
Well, we have to fight for our space, period, wherever we are as Black people, right? But I do think that sometimes leisure is thought of as an add-on, luxury, leisure, right? And everybody don't deserve that. Maybe if you have enough money or if you live in a certain place, you have access. And this is one thing that Sarah Elizabeth Ray felt to her core, and that is that leisure is a civil right because it is such a formative experience for a child. Do you know how safe you have to feel? What kind of leisure do you think an enslaved person felt?
Do not buy Black Girl Vitamins collagen powder if you don't want these side effects. Number 1, your hair is growing like crazy, thicker, shinier, and healthier than ever. I'm spending way too much.
Maybe when they went to sleep, maybe
when they went to sleep, or when they put on the hand-me-downs from Massa and got dressed and indoctrinated to church. That's where we get Sunday best from. But other than that, jumping the broom if and that was allowed.
So the point here is how dehumanizing it is to say to a human being that you can't just stop and breathe the air, that you can't just stop and sing or tell a story, that you have no right to laugh. Do you know how much trouble we get into laughing in public?
Too much. Listen, what did Paul Mooney tell Dave Chappelle? See, they don't want niggas to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, too much fun, they're gonna take your show.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. Go ahead, please.
So leisure is a civil right. Leisure is a civil right. And the other thing that we don't really think about is how young people were involved in pushing the envelope in integrating and opening up leisure activities, okay? The swimming pools, the beaches, the movie theaters, the five and dime counter, you can offer, get a milkshake or whatever, I mean, all of those places of leisure. And young people really did. They were the bulkhead, on that war, while the grown folks were doing businesses, were doing transportation, were doing schools. Young folks is like, but where can we show up? Yeah.
That's deep. Meek, you got a question for our guest?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mika.
So I want to know a little bit more about these summers. Like, what was your actual, what were you trying to convey as far as putting together summers? Like, what made you choose that?
Well, I think that summer is so full of it's like stereotype. It's almost like if you say Christmas, these images come right into your mind. And when you say summer, the same thing happens. Even if you don't live in a geography where it gets really warm, it doesn't matter. You think beach, you think lemonade, you think road trips, you think music, you think laughter, you think childhood. And so the place where you can just be free is summer, right? Mm-hmm. And yet for people of color in this country, we've had to create that for ourselves. And that's what a lot of the stories about is like, even though we were restrained, how did we still insist on and create that summer joy? But we also had to watch our shoulders, had to be careful, had to be cognizant. You know, one thing I think about is how we think of driving in a car these days, driving while black, you know, how that is kind of a dangerous idea to get in your car and drive, right? But there was a long period of time where that was very true. But the other thing that was true, it was also for especially a Black man to own a car, to put his family in a car and drive them. He's got control. The doors are locked. The kids are in the back. And we are going, even if we just go for a Sunday ride, okay? This is our sanctuary. This is our Black joy, okay? It's not just a ride. It's not just a ride.
So
let me ask you this. Oh, I'm sorry, Mika, go ahead.
I just have one more question.
What's
So
it about?
you being a journalist, when you look at the way life is now, right? 2026. And you see things like the kids, teen takeovers.
Right.
What is your thought process on that? Meaning, you just explained what you couldn't do because of things before civil rights or during that time period. But with that being in place now, how do you feel about the demographics of young teens of color going out and spending their summers doing chaotic things instead of leisurely things, as you were explaining?
Well, you can legislate space, but you can also.
It's not having access to 1 million industrial grade products that's so amazing. It's the feeling of knowing you'll find the one.
Red line space, right? It can be done with money or law or culture. And so legally, we can go many places now that we couldn't go before. But culturally and with money, we're not welcome everywhere. And we have not made spaces for our young people to be free, to be themselves. And so if we don't make it, listen, we're going right back to, we're going to sit at that stool at the luncheon counter. We're going to jump in a pool, okay, and watch you pour acid in that pool, but we're coming in. We're coming. And so that's what young people are saying. You're not making a space for us. So we can do it your way or we can do it our way. And our way is we'll take it over since you haven't made any room for us. Okay. So I do think that, again, this is where we're looking at. It's dehumanizing to say there is nowhere where you can be at peace, where you can create sanctuary and where you can have joy. That's dehumanizing. And so when we treat people, dehumanize them, that's the pushback we're going to get, the chaos.
So my question, and just to kind of bring everything together, for you, what is the call to action? What do you want people to do after reading Black Summers? I want to give you multiple choice. You want them to tell their own stories, call their elders, protect public spaces, or all of the above?
Yeah, that's it. All of the above. I do feel like this is it's a moment for us to really think about what we did in our growing up and what to take from that to bring into the future. And also, as Mika has just pointed out, and also create a future together that protects our sanctuary and protects our right to be in public spaces and to be who we are in public spaces. I do believe that conversation needs to be had because we don't really realize how smart we've been. We don't really realize how creative we are. The Black family reunion is not about Tyler Perry and, the sassy auntie and the drunk uncle and, okay, that's great. That's great. It's funny. But you know what? We have been looking for each other a long time. After enslavement ended, newspapers were full during the Reconstruction of, have you seen my blah, blah, blah? Where is blah, blah, blah? Tell them I'm in Cincinnati. Tell them we're in New York. We need to find each other. And when we do, we hold on. That's what family reunion is for us. It is history and Black nostalgia. It is an insistence, like you said earlier, America is mine. And it is insistence that we're going to stay here. Okay. And we are going to hold on to ourselves and our people. So I think that the reunion is a creative way to kind of keep that cultural tie going. And we don't look at how creative that is and how that's part of our legacy. It's not just fun. Okay. And there are many other things that we've done to create those sanctuary spaces in the northern industrial cities that we brought up to the north from the south. We've got to legitimize and validate those experiences. And I do hope this book will help people think about, yeah, you know what? That is right. That front porch was more. It was more than a front porch. It was more, it was a meeting place. It was a community square. It was a way for us to check up on each other. It was a way for us to watch each other's children. So,
wow.
Yeah. So just, really have a turn on what brilliance we have brought to play, what brilliance we have brought to leisure. But there's so much more work to do. As I said, with Sarah Elizabeth Ray, she'd be happy on a lot of grounds, and on the others, she'd be like, what are we doing? Why haven't we created spaces for our young people, right? Why haven't we told our stories to each other?
I'm with it. So Desiree Cooper, the book is called Black Summers. Where can everybody follow you, and where can they get the book?
You can, my website, Des Cooper, DES, descooper.com. You can get everything you need. The book is available anywhere you like to buy books. So just ask your bookstore. If they don't have it, they can order it for you. Go to your library and ask them to carry it.
Yes.
Descooper.com.
Support the folks who are out here supporting you. Desiree Cooper, thank you so much for showing up on D.A.M.N.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're so happy to have you. Take care. I'll see you soon. That was so lovely.
What if I told you you could bring your craziest ideas to life in just